So hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. So today we're doing something totally different. Nothing to do with the boss at all. This is about the Ram, a brand new Ram fifth wheel hitch, 20,000 pound tow capacity. It's brand spanking new. Dealership didn't show me how to use it. So to my viewers, we're gonna show you how to hitch. This is my first time hitching. The other thing we're gonna show quickly is we're actually hitching to a half-ton towable fifth wheel. We went from a 1500 Ram to a 2500 Ram. We got a 5-inch or more lift overall. We had to make some adjustments to the pin box. I ended up doing that myself only because the dealer, I was gonna have the RV place do it, but timing didn't work. Just getting appointments, work, blah, blah, blah. I just decided to do it myself. There's another thing we're going to show you about lifting the overall trailer. Now, this is only for a Jayco Eagle HT. It's a 26.5 bunkhouse fifth wheel. This is, again, half-ton towable, 7,400 dry weight. So we're going to talk a little bit about the new Ram, why we went to the Ram. We've been pulling this half-ton towable for 5 years now. On my 1500 Ram, it's a 12. My payload is 1,500 pounds. My max tow is 8,500 pounds with a 355 rear gear. Now, don't get roped into these half-ton towables. Yeah, you can tow them. Is it really safe? I don't know. I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna say what I do believe. If there was an accident and being over your payload, your insurance is not gonna pay for it. I don't know why these fifth wheel dealers push these half-ton towables off as towables. Yes, you can tow them. You can't take them to the mountains. You can tow them. And when I say, is it safe? You can get by on flat roads, some inclines, but again, truck's getting tired. When you talk about the weight ratio to the truck, I mean, I'm overweight. I think my truck's around 5,500 pounds. Loaded down, this trailer is probably 7,700 pounds dry weight. So the truck's been working. It's getting tired. It still runs great, 132,000 miles, but we decided to upgrade to a 2,500 heavy duty. It's got over 14,000 pound tow capacity. It's a Hemi, 373 rear gear, and it has over 3,100 pounds payload. So we're totally safe. Our tongue weight is 1,350, which leaves us just 150 pounds for payload. Of course, with 4 passengers and luggage, you know we're over that. So anyways, so we're gonna, 1, show you what we did, how to drop the pin box. 2, we're gonna do the hitch, and then we're gonna show you where to adjust. Now, I'm not gonna do the adjustment in the video. I've been thinking about how to do it because I'm a one-man operation, so I do things and use tools, if you will, to help. And that's how we got this pin box set up, because again, it's not a one-man job. So let's take a look at the truck. We'll take a look at the hitch, the Mopar hitch. This is all Mopar parts. We bought the truck with a fifth wheel prep. Dealer installed the fifth wheel hitch. So it's a nice setup, very nice setup. It is a static hitch, by the way. My old hitch is a 5'5" box. It's a slider, a pull right slider. Beautiful hitch, works great, and we did have one failure. We came unhooked once. We were in Cedar Point, and to this day, I only believe that I never was properly hitched. And till that day, I've learned to check for safety, guys. So my fifth wheel pullers out there, always check those jaws. I never checked them. Just didn't, right? Well, my bad. So I tell my viewers, you know, most of my channel is me learning, and you guys are learning from my mistakes. So again, on this, we're going to talk about that. I believe what happened is when we hitched the trailer, obviously the jaws never closed. It was enough weight on that tongue and on that fifth wheel receiver that we were able to get out of the park. We went slow, we pulled out of the park, and it was a short drive, maybe 1/8 of a mile. We turned and got out of the road, went over the first speed bump. There was 2 speed bumps. Very slow. The second one we hit, I don't know, 15 miles an hour. It was enough to pop that 5th wheel up and out. It came out and came crashing down on my 1500 bed and just crushed the bed rails. Shocking. It was shocking. And fortunately, there was guys around to help out, and we got it set back up, got it on, verified it latched, and white knuckled it all the way home. Now, you 5th wheelers out there, you know it's super stressful. The unknown is my trailer going to come off again down the fucking highway and, you know, hit another vehicle. God forbid that to happen. That would be awful. So anyways, lesson learned there is always check to see if those jaws are closed. Validate that. Now, on this Mopar hitch, it's a little bit different. Yes, you do a validation, but there's a lot of visual checks with the reds and greens on the mechanism that slides out and that you lock. There's a pin lock. So we're going to go through some of that, and we're going to try and hitch for the first time. But I wanted you guys to see, and the only reason why I'm doing this, again, dealership didn't show me. They didn't know buku about it. So I'm doing this to share, and hopefully, well, in my search, I could not find anything around lifting a couple videos, maybe 2, about lifting this 5th wheel up and getting it ready for a bigger truck. So that's what we're doing. The downside this whole thing is my trailer now is going to pull on an angle. It's not going to pull level as it did before. So anyways, let's check out the 2500, and we'll show you guys the hitch, and then yeah, we'll try and hook up. So beautiful piece, as you can see. This has got a 20,000 pound towing capacity. There are 2 Zerks, one right down the middle that's been greased. I verified. If you look right in the middle, now you have 2 grease Zerks on each side. Well, there's 2 stickers on each side. The right one has a Zerk that's been greased. I validated that, but I could not find the one on the right side. So maybe it's the angle, on the left side. Maybe it's the angle. You can see the sticker there, it's yellow. Right there, but I don't see the Zerk in there, so we'll look for that later. The other thing is the red, obviously, is danger. This is your release pin, if you will. That will slide in once your jaws are closed, and it will display a green. This is your lock with the pin lock, and we'll get that in there once it's on and we hook up. The other thing I wanted to share is that what we had to do to the pin box, this bed sits up quite a bit. I'll show you a picture of the difference. It's at least 5 inches, maybe a little bit more. The top striker plate of that kingpin receiver is about 4 inches from the top of this bed rail. The 1500 was 7.5 inches. So it sets much lower down in the bed. And then the difference, of course, is 3.5 inches. So what we did, we dropped the pin box down 3.5 inches. And we did that by bringing in the Ram 1500, backing it up and letting this set level, but not on the receiver, kingpin receiver plate. Then we raise the trailer up 3.5 inches above that plate. We kept the plate there. Then we loosen, there's 4 bolts here, 15/16 is the size. The shank or the thread size is 5/8. We loosened and removed all but 2. We dropped it down to meet and rest on the receiver hitch. We use it like as a jig. And then we found the bolt holes to line up. So the 2 kept us aligned. This is where we were before. As you drop down, we just put the bolts in as a holder until we made it level. So ultimately, we dropped this down 3.5 inches. So as you can see, we're above the rails, and you'll see that once we get closer. We got to raise this up. This whole trailer now, if you look, we'll try and get a better angle. If you look at it, you can see now we're sitting up quite a bit. Now that's going to come down a little bit when we're resting on the truck. So quickly, on the axles, on these half-ton towables, this gets a little wonky. And the reason why I know that, it's because of changing the tires on my boat trailer. So where these springs meet, there's bolt holes below, top and bottom. And we're already sitting on top of the axles where our leaves are mounted. So if we left the entire trailer up and dropped down to that lower bolt hole, my understanding, it'll lift the overall trailer about 1 inch. That's okay. That'll work. Anything's better than where we're sitting now. That will reduce the angle of the overall trailer. Now they say it's not great. There's a rear one. You can see it's on the top. So the dealer says it's not great to go down the road on a high angle because it puts a higher bearing load on your rear axle bearings. I don't think it's going to be too bad for us being on the angle, but and it's going to take some wear and tear, some time to get there. So for now, we're going to hitch, see where we're at, and then we'll see how things go. So we're in the red. Our jaws are open. And at this point, we're ready to hitch. Now we'll back the truck up, show you where we're at. The manual did say to put a high bearing load grease on the striker plate and use that in the Zerk. So like I said, the dealer did at least grease the Zerks. I'm gonna put grease on the striker plate. And they also said to be 1 inch below the level of the plate. Now that's a lot different than the pull-right, where we were just maybe 1/4 inch below the plate, not 1 inch. And we're gonna see how this works out. The other thing, guys, you wanna make sure, chalk both sides of your wheels when you're hitching. So we got one in the back, we got a heavy duty one on this side, and there's also one on the other side. So there's 3 chalks. It looks like we're relatively close. We're lined up. We're just going to Okay, so we're gonna drop it down. About an inch, we'll check that again once we get closer. We're gonna get some grease on that striker plate. All right, we have our grease on. And we're just gonna stuff up here. Do a little smear job. No, I didn't do that on my other receiver plate, but let's see how this works out. We're gonna back it up and then get it recheck and get it lined up again, and we'll see how she hitches. Okay, we did move the truck over about an inch to the right, so we're about ready to line it back up. Drop it down in probably in half an inch. We're still a little high. We're high here, we're going to drop it down. So that looks to be about an inch. We're going to move the angle of the camera because gonna happen. This thing is gonna. Okay, like I said, we are realigned. We dropped the pin box down. Not the pin box, but the overall trailer. We lowered it about an inch as the instructions state below the plate. Now we're gonna make an attempt to hitch. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall over, but you're gonna get a perfect view of getting this thing. And again, to the left, we have the red on our safety pin showing our jaws are open. And once we hitch, they should close and it should go to a green on the safety pin. That was smooth, way smoother than my other one. So, now as you can see, the pin went in. This thing is slick. They said they were slick. This is your safety lock. So that is your safety pin. We should be showing green. In the yellow window. It looks like we are. We should be good to go. Let's check the jaws and see if they're closed. Jaws are confirmed closed. That was a real easy hitch. So overall, quite pleased with the way it sits. I had airbags on my 1500. The 2500, she's pretty much sitting level. Looks really good, nice and flat. As for the trailer, we'll get a measurement. We are up a little bit in front. Not as bad as I thought we would be. But we are up. So to the bottom, I'd say maybe 29 3/8. If you go to the level, about 29 1/2. Let's see what the difference is. We're gonna be at least 3 or 4 inches shorter back here, or more maybe. So not too bad. 26 3/4. So 27 3/4, 28 3/4, about just a little over 2.5 inches. So if we were to raise our axles up, that would actually take a little out of there. So when we get to that, we'll show you guys how to do that, hopefully, and turn it into a one-man job. All right, so we've double checked everything. We're good. We're gonna try and tow. So this is the first time towing this rig on this 2500. We do have 563 miles on the odometer. So we're beyond the 500 mile break-in, which is a recommendation by the manufacturer to make sure you have your 500 miles before you tow anything. So we're putting this 6.4 Hemi to work right away. So we'll get an idea of what it's going to take to get it out of the barn. We have to go around the barn to get out. We have an L-shaped lot, and it's a little uneven, so you're going to see that. We're going to go for about a 10-minute ride, check things out, see how it feels. We'll probably stop at a church, take a look, get a picture of the whole view of how it sits, and then we'll come home and unload. So let's see how everything goes. All right, I think we're all set to go. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but we're not. So we're gonna just gently pull forward, make sure we're hitched. Go back. Feels weird. We're gonna check it real quick. Everything looks good. I think it's the whole striker plate of the kingpin receiver hitch. It's on springs, so it just kind of is wiggling around, and I'm not quite used to that. Now we're gonna hear a noise up top because we're close to the top of our opening, but we should be fine. Hear the antenna hit. And we're putting this thing through a rugged test, getting it out of the barn. There it is, right there. way down to the drive, and then we're gonna pull all the way around the pole barn, which is really, really tight quarters. As you can see, right, we got to cut this wide. We're on an angle. So like I said, we're putting this through a test already. Moving without any strain. Clearing the pole barn on the side, but maybe not the camera. Ooh, we're close. Yeah, we're gonna clip that camera. Alright, we're up and running. We got 595. I thought it was 563. 595 miles on this thing. Driving like a champ. Like it's not even behind us. This is unreal, as I said earlier. So we got the Mopar tonneau cover top. It's folded up. It's probably, I probably will not travel with that because the wind makes some strange turbulence when that fifth wheel is on in that bed. So we're going to move that because I don't want to damage that. But for this test, we'll be fine. This thing handles like a dream. There's no strain. Just easy peasy cruising. Very stable. Very stable. Now what's amazing, at least for me, these Ram trucks, they drive they're tight. They are tight, and that's why I buy a Ram truck. They drive extremely well. And the comfort, the tightness, the sound, to me, it's above Ford in that aspect. I've been in a Ford in 2012, and that's why I ended up with my Ram, because I did not like the way it felt. It just didn't feel like the Ram did, and my 1500 still drives tight, but this is even more of an amazing ride and quietness and feel to it. Downshifted in a second, going about 40 miles an hour. We're in third. Very, very nice. I didn't expect this to be that nice. All right, we're gonna pull over up here and do a quick picture and show you what it looks like. So we can get into this church parking lot. Yep. Show you how the truck sits with the trailer. And then we'll head back home, get her in the garage, and she, I think we're gonna leave her hitched up. She'll be ready for the trip. So this is what she looks like. The truck is sitting perfectly level. And then of course the trailer, like I said, we're about 2 inches and maybe 5/8. We're a little raised up. It doesn't look that profound in the video, but in real life you can see the difference. But it's actually, like I said, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Get a side shot. That's what she's looking like going down the road. Going down the road. We are good to go. All right, we're gonna head back. All right, we're up and running. We got 595. I thought it was 563. 595 miles on this thing. Driving like a champ. Like it's not even behind us. This is unreal, as I said earlier. So we got the Mopar tonneau cover top. It's folded up. It's I probably will not travel with that because the wind makes some strange turbulence when that fifth wheel is on in that bed. So we're gonna move that because I don't want to damage that. But for this test, we'll be fine. This thing handles like a dream. There's no strain. Just easy peasy cruising. Very stable. Very stable. Super excited. Now what's amazing, at least for me, these Ram trucks, they drive they're tight. They are tight, and that's why I buy a Ram truck. They drive extremely well. And the comfort, the tightness, the sound, to me, it's above Ford in that aspect. I've been in a Ford in 2012, and that's why I ended up with my Ram, because I did not like the way it felt. It just didn't feel like the Ram did, and my 1500 still drives tight, but this is even more of an amazing ride and quietness and feel to it. Downshifted in a second, going about 40 miles an hour. We're in third. Very, very nice. I didn't expect this to be that nice. All right, we're gonna pull over up here and do a quick picture and show you what it looks like. So we can get into this church parking lot. Yep. Show you how the truck sits with the trailer. And then we'll head back home, get her in the garage, and she, I think we're gonna leave her hitched up. She'll be ready for the trip. All right, well, we didn't do a picture, we did a quick video, so I think that's better. Get a good view to the, of the rig with the trailer, so you guys can see how it sits. It's better than I expected as far as the level, but once we get that trailer up on those lower shackles, we should take away, I don't know how much, but we'll take away from that, you know, that angle. The other reason why we got this rig, or this 2500, of course, to further our travels out of Michigan, and we want to go out west to the national parks, and of course we'll be up and through the mountains, and we want to go south. So we are totally in position to do that. Aside from the gas prices, of course, hopefully they will come down, but hopefully back to half of where it's at now, 250. That would be nice. But looks like we're averaging about 10.5 miles to the gallon, and honestly, that's where we were at on the Ram. This has a 31 gallon tank, whereas the Ram only had a 24 gallon. So yeah, that's nice. We got a little more range, so you kind of approximate about 10 miles to a gallon. You got 30, so you got a range of maybe 310 miles total. Of course, you won't go that far. You're gonna gas up before that, so maybe 250 miles, you know, leave 60 miles, however you're gonna do it. But yeah, this is really nice, man. Really nice, guys. I didn't expect this out of this setup. I didn't expect how it pulled, so we're about 50% capacity, maybe just a little over. Whereas with the Ram, probably 90-95% capacity. That's whatever 7,500 will give you times 100 would give you your total, where you would at percent capacity. I didn't do that math yet, but I know it's up there. And again, we're taking this and taking it down to about 50%, just over 50% of its trailer capacity. Over 14,000 pounds of trailer capacity on this, and our fifth wheel about 7,500, well, 74 dry weight with a few bags. I don't think load it over 7,500 pounds, to be honest. Sometimes we travel with a little water in the tank, only because for stops we use a restroom, and it seems to work out quite well. Yeah, I think it's a success. The hitching was super easy. This Mopar hitch, thumbs up. Kudos to Mopar. I heard they were good, and it's slick. A real nice setup. We will not unhitch. We'll show you how to unhitch, but no, I won't. We won't unhitch because we're going to travel, and it's not that big of a deal. Again, get level. You raise your trailer up until you're throwing about a 1/16 of an inch gap, and then you pull your safety arm, safety pin. We're in the freaking hole over there. Holy cow. Got that on camera. I'm just gonna line it up. Or straight in. Had my radio on, so hopefully we don't get hit with any copyright claims. So guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Now it's not all going to be on fifth wheel, and most of it's going to be on my Boss. We're going to be doing around capacity on the Ram, some mods to the Ram, maybe shorty headers and exhaust. We're not going to be going crazy on this thing. Build a little more horsepower and torque, concerned about more pulling power, and then, you know, we're going to leave it at that and just enjoy this thing. Super B over there, we got to do brakes on that yet on one of these days. So that's it, man. Hey guys, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and have a great day.